So I had this question on one of our last ACH trainings, which is stop. When I'm seeing an unconscious moment or my client's seeing something like visualizing something or feeling something or experiencing something, what should I do next? And the conclusion from that, the student, which is fine, it is what it is, but I want to give you a better resource and a better thing to do, guys, is he says, in the past, what I would do is tell my client to give their emotion or their feeling a shape or a color or a name. Is it male? Is it female? Is it tall? Is it short? Is it rectangular? Is it square? Is it red? Is it blue? And you definitely don't want to do this, okay? Now, to keep this simple, I'm going to explain it like this. When your client's having an experience or a atypical experience, being atypical, it's not going to be the same for everybody. Emotion, feeling, visualization, experience, that could be feeling a tingling in their body to visualizing a unicorn. It doesn't matter what it is. I do not want to tell my client to give that thing meaning. I do not want to tell my client what to do with that thing. Now, this is a big one, and you can always put this aside to like telling a client how to go into trance, or telling a client how to have their breakthrough, or telling a client to hug their inner child. What you're doing here is you're now telling a client what to do based on what you want them to do, and this is always incorrect. The unconscious mind of your client is way smarter than you. And believe me, it does not like to be told what to do, despite what everyone says, like it's like the unconscious mind will just listen, to you, and it will take on any suggestion, which is irrelevant. That's fictitious. That's not true. What we don't want to do is when our client's having an experience, tell them what to do with it. So I never want to tell my client, hey, you're feeling tingly in your body. What color is it? What shape is it? I want you to make it, I want you to increase it. I want you to spin it. I want you to decrease it. I want you to change it. I don't want to do any of that. I'm really lazy when it comes to therapy. So if I ask my client, what's happening now, I get a sort of experience of what's happening, get some feedback, and they say, well, Scott, it's really strange. I'm getting this weird tingling in my body. I'm going to go, great. So you're getting a tingling in your body. All I'm going to do is put more of their attention on it. Okay. I'm not going to say, hey, great. Take that tingling and spin it backwards, or spin it clockwise, or move it to your legs, move it to your hand, get rid of it, change it, give it a shape. What's its name? I'm not going to do any of those things, because now I'm telling a client what to do. And I do not want to lead them towards what this thing means. I just want them to have that experience. Now think of this and taking the pressure off you. Okay. Now, if I say to my client, my client says to me, I've got a tingling, I say, great. So you got a tingling. And they're probably looking at me still. If their eyes are open, they're going to be going, yeah, it feels really strange. I'm going to go, great. I know it feels strange. I'm just going to echo back their experience. Do that for a couple of seconds, just as an example. And then I'll say, okay, what's happening with it now? Well, the strangest thing, Scott, it's intensifying. Like I can't even move my body. Great. You can't move your body. I wonder why this is here. And I'm just going to throw out a postulate, a question that gets them thinking about that. I do not want to say that this is here because of this. Now, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole with this, guys, because this is a long explanation. I want to keep it short, but I hope you get my point here. I'm not going to say, hey, I want you to give this a meaning. This is here because you want to become a non-smoker. And I wonder what the tingling is telling you about becoming a non-smoker. Maybe it's because every time you had a cigarette, this would occur. I guess this means, and you can tell what I'm doing there, I'm leading the conversation. I'm telling them what to do with it. I'm going to let them have the experience. Okay, well, what's happening with it now? Well, it's strange. The tingling starting to grow. Great. I wonder why this has showed up today. And they're going to think about it, more attention on it. And they'll say, well, it's really strange. All of a sudden, I got this memory of my mother. Great. So here you are, body's tingling, and now you're getting a memory of your mother. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm feeling like the tingling is going away. My body's really heavy now. Sort of see where I'm going, guys. Okay. Now, again, we've got another little program for this, but I don't want to be here just pitching my programs and stuff, but you can see my point here. I do not want to give meaning to trance. I do not want to tell my client what it is, how it is, what to do with it, or what to do with it next. I just want my client to experience whatever they're experiencing. Now, this takes the pressure off you guys to come up with your client's solutions. The solutions my lawyers had to quitting smoking and the reasons, the real root cause, was so freaking weird and strange and unique to them. Of course, it had nothing to do with the cigarettes, had nothing to do with their inner child, had nothing to do with their past experience as a child, because now I'm putting my own conclusion on a thing. These things were so far out there. And the coolest thing was it always changed from client to client. And again, that comes back to, techniques and scripts, having to work for everybody when that's not the case. We've got to realize this, guys. Your clients will have their own experience of trance. They will go as deep as they need to. They will come up with their own resources, their own conclusions, and they will definitely come up with their own solutions to their problem. But if you start forcing a solution, trying to give them an answer or leading them down, above their timeline or whatever you're doing, you're now telling a client what to do. And you're basically saying to their unconscious mind, hey, I'm smarter than you, go and do this. Now, there's one thing we realize about the unconscious mind. A lot of people say it'll do what you want it to do. This is ludicrous, because if that was the case, you could just tell a client, hey, go stop smoking. They go, okay, great. But that's not the case. The unconscious mind loves homeostasis. It does not like being told what to do. If it finds something that is working for the human being that it's a part of, and it doesn't see any danger or any issues with it, it has no reason to change. No matter how good your suggestion is, no matter how hypnotic you think you are, how deep your client is, if you don't give the client's unconscious mind a new, we call it unconscious payoff, a new payoff that supersedes the old way it was doing things like smoking is good, I'm going to stay smoking. We don't give it a new payoff that supersedes the old one. It has no reason to change. So just telling a client what to do is not going to work. The unconscious mind will say, no, that's your suggestion. It's not mine. That's not good enough. I like my current payoff. I'm going to stop listening to you. So again, back to where we were, we do not want to tell a client to give their sensation, their trance shape, color, a name, a sex, whatever. Nothing. Just let your clients experience it. Sit in that experience and just wait to see what comes up. Because the cool thing about when your client's sitting in that experience, that's when those aha moments come up. And those aha moments are the resources. They're the realization. They're the insight into the root cause. Okay, guys? So take the pressure off yourself. Stop telling clients what to do. Do not give your client your conclusions. Do not give a client a solution. Just let them sit in that experience and notice what happens next.